Hi guys, you are watching or listening to the Shift Training Podcast,
where we talk about personal development, we talk about physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, and just overall well-being.
And today we're going to be talking about a few different subjects. We've been talking about culture code, obstacles, being sick, and how to get better. And then I hear Vaughn has some questions, so I don't know what it is.
Oh,
let's
that's
jump
a
into
bonus
it.
question right there.
All right, cool. So Vaughn, culture code.
Culture code. Okay, so this book, I thought it was incredible, something that I resonated straight away. And the one that I got from this book that I believe is important, is crucial for an environment that will make you progress and grow. So basically, one of the best lessons that I've learned is that a good leader is not enough to be loving and caring. You need to make them feel safe. You need to have an environment of safety. So when I talk about safety, that means you're not judging other people mentally or physically.
Or worried about their judgment constantly.
Exactly. Making them feel anxious. You're not making them feel heard, seen, or, essentially those areas. You want to make them feel seen, cared, heard. And you want to make just like a superheroes. Think about them,
Right.
They make you feel safe, not just loving you and caring about you. They want you to feel safe. And the topic that I also enjoy is this coach in NBA. So his number one rule, if there's a new teammate, he will make sure that he will introduce it to the whole team. Because if your team is bonded like this, you are compatible and have that chemistry, then the success rate will go up. And there's so many research in this book that if you make them feel safe and connected to other people, then you'll be winning championships.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Connection being required to conduce or focus or collect more energy.
Yeah.
So like if, everyone's moving and they're, hold on, motorcycle, because, LA. So if, everyone's bonded together, moving in the same direction versus energy just being sporadic all over the place, it's easier to focus and create and build momentum when there's a unit or a team moving together, a group of people moving together versus, each person kind of concerned about their own little whatever it is. Then there's just separate energy, separate things going on. So
this happens to like different sports too. Like in hockey, I remember when I was in college, there's this research that they brought a team that has the most chemistry, and they brought all the all-star on the other team. Surprisingly enough, the team that won was the team who has the most chemistry compared to the all-star. And I thought that was interesting.
Yes, the collective.
I think it's when you're an all superstar, they all want to be the best. I'm the ego. There's no team here. I'm the best.
Separate. They're all separate, divided.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Tight. Anything else on culture code, or should we continue?
I think we shall continue.
All right. Cool. So I'm going to tell you guys about obstacles. I actually had a thought this week, and it's not like some profound thought, but I was thinking about it, and generally my relationship with obstacles is like, get out of my way. I don't like obstacles. Or if you don't, I'm going to wreck you obstacles. Or I will find a way around you obstacles. I basically don't really have any appreciation for obstacles usually, except for when I reframe them as challenges. Challenges, therefore, helping me to grow and become stronger, become better, to evolve, etc. So, but when I say obstacle, I immediately think hindrance. You're a problem. You need to get it out of my way as soon as possible. But I had a different thought this week about obstacles guiding us, kind of like even as roadblocks, or if you think about a river, certain obstacles kind of guiding where you're supposed to flow. So instead, you might be thinking, oh, it should flow like this. Maybe you're supposed to flow over this way for a particular reason. So I wanted to give some thought to the idea that sometimes obstacles are on our path to help redirect our focus, our attention, our energy, our momentum in a different way. So that way we can continue on the path that perhaps we should be on.
This reminds me of the book from Ryan Holiday, Obstacles is the Way. That's an amazing book.
Sounds like sin to me, but it might be an amazing book. I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But, this is an idea that I thought about. And I think that sometimes reframing obstacles in that fashion probably would be helpful for myself and anybody else. So I wanted to go ahead and share that. I'm not fully adapted to that. I still have the visceral response of obstacle in my way equals go over or obliterate or through. Mm-hmm. But it is important to take a moment to ask the question, this obstacle that's presented, is this obstacle possibly a challenge that is meant to redirect or guide my attention, focus, or energy? Mm-hmm. So that's my thought on obstacles.
Sweet. All right.
So you recently got over the plague. Juan was sick.
I was sick.
But you had a question about you when you were getting sick that I think everyone asks, which is like,
how can I get better faster? When I was sick, I felt horrible. I felt so unproductive. But at the same time, I was telling Coach Law earlier that I started to appreciate things that are slow. I'm always been in the fast pace. Every time I wake up, go straight away at work. But I realized when I was sick, I was just relaxing. I felt my body. I just remember when I was younger, when everything is slow. As you get older, things become so much faster, and appreciate the things that are, just drinking water, doing it slow, because I have a salt palate infection on top of my mouth, and it's causing me to feel pain. And I start to appreciate food even more because I've been eating fast. So fast that I don't even enjoy the food. Now I'm eating it as if getting the taste, every taste. And I have to chew about 15 times at least. Just appreciating all those things, slowing things down. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I think that that's usually a good time to slow down. It's when, you're not feeling well. And I think that's also a key to the question is how can I get better, right?
Yeah.
And it's acknowledging that your body has particular needs.
Yeah.
All that other stuff you were like, let's do this. Maybe you need to slow down what it is and refocus on what it is your body's saying it needs. And that's how you do it. That's the key to getting better faster, right?
Yeah. And I wanted to work out, but I was like, no, I can't.
Can't spend the resources.
Yeah. When I wake up out of the bed, I appreciate the step that I had. I never, stepped this slow. I had an insight.
Total perspective change. Yeah. And I think sometimes that's what happens with, feeling unwell, right? It helps you to see or think differently, that great health you have and that kind of energy gets taken for granted when it becomes a daily thing. And, you forget, if you forget that that's not always the daily thing.
Yeah.
It can easily be forgotten that, hey, I need to be grateful for this.
Yeah.
I also need to be grateful when I don't have it too.
Yeah, exactly. How important your body is, how it's giving you that optimal function right now. But when you get older, you get getting sick, you start to really appreciate your body.
100%.
Yeah.
So Vaughn, it's time for the bonus round. What is this question?
This bonus round, this question is, you ready for it?
Yes.
All right. Let's see how I phrased this earlier. What is one mistake that you've been scared to address or reconcile?
Ooh. That's a good question. All right. So what is one mistake you've been afraid to address or reconcile?
Yeah.
Is that the question? Okay.
That's my question to you.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's real tough. Okay. Let me give that some thought right there. Cause usually I feel like there might almost be any mistake. And I guess it just depends on who you are as a person. Mm-hmm. But I think for me, that might almost be any mistake. And it doesn't mean sometimes fear will paralyze us or make us not do something, right? Mm-hmm. Generally speaking, when I feel some type of way about something, my response is proactive. Mm-hmm. I've kind of trained that in there now. But there's still a few things that I don't address. Yeah. I think in terms of reconcile, I can use one that's pretty obvious.
So you're very confrontational.
Yeah, I guess I am very confrontational.
What's your advice for those individuals that are not very, because it's hard for them to, be upfront to you, because
Yeah.
one, maybe they are afraid to you, or
Yeah.
you know, they just don't have the ability, they never taught to address those feelings, or maybe their parents or the culture that they have is you need to suppress that, don't be vulnerable or whatever.
Ooh, crap. Yeah, you know, this is an interesting one. I'm going to say that I feel like that question is a fantastic question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that my answer is the same as someone who is confrontational, which is weird because it's kind of like saying people who are non-confrontational, just be more confrontational, which is like not the right answer.
Exactly.
But at the same time, there's a time and place for that. And I think for me, I've learned somewhere down the line, because I wasn't always super confrontational. In fact, I still to this day, there's a part of me that really doesn't like confrontation, but I'm also quick to get with it because I'd rather be proactive than not. And part of that comes from knowing what comes from not being willing to confront something. Like we talk about many times, you know, if you don't face the dragon, you're doomed to be a slave to the dragon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever it is you're afraid of facing, it will own you. It will consume you. It will limit you. It is the boss, and you do what it says. You, whatever it is that you're unwilling to reconcile, or at least face or accept or understand about yourself or others. Plenty of people have seen the meme where I forgot what movie it is, but it's about the what is it called? Basically, the pirates take over the ship, and dang it, I forgot. But he's basically, the meme is he's looking and he's like, "Look at me, I'm the captain now." I'm the captain of the ship. I'm the captain now. That's how your fear is looking at you. You're sitting up here like, yeah, you know, some. The fear is like, shh, be quiet. Go in your room. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now at you. So, and I don't think that's worth it. I think that it's better to move forward, even if afraid, right? Because that's how you're going to cultivate the courage. That's how you're going to cultivate confidence. And I feel like the payout is worth it. So yeah, sometimes fighting or going in for something is exhausting or tiring. If you don't have the energy for it, you don't have the energy for it.
Yeah.
But I would say it's still costing you energy, whether you think it is or not. It might just seem like the path of least resistance is easier. Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah. And this reminds me of every time we train this flips, kicks, and twists at jam, you know, where we train, there's certain moves that we are afraid of.
That's
and
right.
we would ask ourselves, you know, do we want to be owned by our dragons, by our fear?
Or rather fall down and
rather fall down,
bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I think for me, the thing to reconcile when I think about a mistake, I think for mistakes or something that I perceive to be a mistake, I'm usually generally proactive. But if we were to talk about something that I might not be mistake driven, like just outright fear, I could use the social dancing component in salsa and bachata dancing, right?
Yeah.
I have a real resistance against it, very strong resistance for a multitude of reasons. They're all just justifications for I'm uncomfortable with that because I know I'm going to make lots of mistakes. I'm going to turn into a sandwich. I'm going to forget what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think that's something that's hard for me to reconcile is going into the water of something and be like, I know absolutely nothing, but I'm going to go in here and learn. Then being in another situation where I go, I know absolutely nothing, but it's time to perform-ish, you know, but I'm still not going to know nothing. I'm not really going to learn very much. I might, but you know, the likelihood is just I'm just going to have to eat that mistake for a few times. I think that's the fear reconcile thing. I think that's something for me. What about you, Vaughn?
Well, the one that came on the top of my head is, this was when I was young, and me and my cousins, it was three of us, me, girl, and a guy, and we were watching a movie. And then during that movie, I had a gum, and then I was like, I want to throw this away. And I had an idea. Spit out the gum, and then secretly put the gum to my cousin's hair, the girl's cut. And then when we finished, they actually noticed it. And then the mom came in, why you have a gum in your hair? And then the sad part about it, they had to cut her hair. And from there, I never really addressed this mistake that it was me who put that gum.
I'm confessing it.
Now it's out there, but
reconciling it right now.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that was my mistake that I've been really scared, but I guess not anymore.
There it is. All right, young Ron putting gum in people's hair.
That's it.
All right, cool. Is there anything else we want to talk about or touch base on?
I think that's it.
All right, guys. Just in case you haven't heard yet, you will most certainly hear about it soon, or at this point in time when this drops, it will already be probably near time. Anyways, emotional wellness classes. We'll be hosting those. The class will be once a week. We'll be trying out 4 classes. This will be via Zoom. So for anybody who wants to participate, it's easy. The cost is going to be extremely low. We'll have you RSVP. We'll shoot you a link. Very easy. So I think that's it for today.
That's it.
Where can they find us?
And if you haven't been following us, please follow us on our social Shift on Your Life. And don't forget to subscribe, Shift Training on our podcast and YouTube.
All right, guys. We thank you and we appreciate you for your time, and we hope that you have a fantastic week. Peace.